everybody, I'm Jennifer Blevin-Smith with Integral Clinic Solutions, and you're watching my YouTube channel, Navigating the Business of Medicine. Today's topic is the introduction of independent practice associations, or IPAs. Also could be called independent physician associations or independent practitioner associations. Depending on where you're watching from, IPAs may be very common or they might not be common at all. And a lot of people don't even know about them, even if they are common in your area, depending on what part of healthcare you have worked in and what kind of experience you have in healthcare. In Oregon, there aren't a ton of IPAs in the Portland metro area, but as you get outside of the more densely populated areas, there are a few that pop up. And of course, IPAs are going to function differently everywhere you are, and they are also going to have different requirements and different roles that they will play for your practice. But this is just an introduction and just to let you know that they're out there and just a basic overview about them. So basically, an IPA is a group of independent doctors, practitioners, or groups that come together and form this contract, and they come together to be able to leverage their size in creating contracts with certain payers. A lot of payers that are involved in this are HMOs, ACOs, and MCO plans. There are some PPOs, but you're going to see more of the health maintenance organizations, that kind of thing. Now, what this does is when you're part of these groups, you are able to essentially help lessen the administrative burden of a lot of things that go on in your practice, but still be able to continue providing quality care to your patients. This will allow you to really have the resources to produce and benefit from value-based care. Usually when you're involved in an IPA, the contracts you have are considered risk contracts, and that definitely helps you lessen as well the administrative burden, but you also still get to continue participating even if you're not able to provide what would normally be required for the administrative side. A lot of IPAs are usually including a bunch of different specialists, but there are some out there that only do family medicine or only do certain specialties. And that's definitely something you would want to look at in your area, but you definitely want to consider this option if maybe you want to see more Medicaid type patients where maybe your reimbursement would be a little bit better if you were part of an IPA. You have that size capability of being able to pool your resources essentially and get those good or better contracts when it comes to seeing some of those CCO plans or Medicaid plans. Not always is the pay better, and sometimes they might try to negotiate you down on your contract for reimbursement for being part of an IPA, but usually IPAs have at least one person dedicated that works for the IPA that will help negotiate this stuff on your behalf with the payer. If there's any other issues that may come up between your office and the payer when it comes to billing, they will kind of be your negotiator slash go-to person slash mediator when it comes to all of this. They will also be able to communicate to you if things are going to change or to anticipate something that might be going to happen or has happened that maybe if you weren't part of it, you would never know. A lot of these are membership based, so there is a fee because you do have to pay the people who are employed at the IPA who help do all of the contracts and the monitoring and helping you with any kind of quality measures you might need to report on your behalf, but definitely it is worth it in my experience being part of these because, like I said, they relieve some administrative burden. A lot of times with some of these payers, especially when you see a lot of Medicaid patients, it will increase or at least get you a competitive reimbursement than maybe what you would get on your own. And you also have other colleagues that you can bounce things off of who are in the IPA or see if they're experiencing the same things you are, and it just kind of builds a little bit of a network for you. One thing to be aware of is that they can be exclusive, or they could have only a certain number of spots per specialty. So I know when I worked with a practice in the South Bay or Bay Area of California, there were certain IPAs like through Stanford that only had so many spots for certain specialties. So unless one opened up, we weren't able to join. And that really limited us on what patients we could see as a network, because they had a lot of contracts, and a lot of those payers were exclusive to the IPA because there were so many groups and physicians involved in it that they didn't let even outsiders have contracts with the payers. These are really frustrating, especially when you're just trying to see patients, but those are things that you definitely want to be aware of and look into before you open your practice. Like I said, your area might not have IPAs at all, or they might be very heavily IPA'd, so you want to do your due diligence and look into this before you start doing your contract and credentialing and setting up your practice, because if it's one of those situations that I experienced in California where it was very exclusive and it took away a huge number of patients that were contracted with payers that only see physicians in the IPA, it made it very difficult, and we lost a lot of money until we realized it, because it was a practice we acquired and it was just kind of a mess. So definitely do your due diligence. There are positives and negatives to this, like everything. So you want to make sure, if you're considering joining an IPA, that you do your research on the specific IPAs that you're wanting to join, and you find out membership fees, you find out reimbursement, you find out what your responsibilities are as far as being part of the IPA and what they will do for you, and understand those contracts and those responsibilities and those rights. If you have any experience being part of an IPA, I would love to hear your experience and your input in the comments below. If you are wanting to know more, I can always look up some references and resources for you. But like I said, this is just a really quick overview and introduction of IPAs, because a lot of people don't know about them. But if you're coming from an area and thinking about opening a practice from an area that has a lot of IPAs, but you weren't aware of them or know how they work, I wanted to bring it to your attention. Thank you so much for watching today. I really appreciate the support. Smash the thumbs up button if this was helpful or if you enjoyed this video, and subscribe to my channel if you haven't already. I'm getting new subscribers every day and I'm really excited, and I just want to see it grow even more. So have a wonderful day and take care of yourself. Bye-bye.